I am John Medeiros, the father, the coach of Team Medeiros.
My name is Jadalie Medeiros. I'm a professional boxer from Dothan, Alabama, now fighting out in Las Vegas.
We moved to Vegas because Jadalie wanted to go pro. She has did everything that I've asked. Team Combat League allowed us to experience no headgear and smaller gloves. After she got done with that season, she told me, I exactly know I want this to be my career for the rest of my life. And she's never stopped training. She pushes everybody. I, as a father, had to give her this opportunity. As a family and as a team, brought her to the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas.
My family, they're really supportive. We moved all the way out to Vegas really just for our professional boxing careers, because Vegas is the fight capital of the world. My dad, he's always taught me and studied with me throughout my boxing career. He's really the one who built me since I was very young, and he's been the only coach I've had my entire life. To be honest, if it wasn't for him, like if I didn't have him, me personally, I'm not the biggest watcher or studier of boxing like other professional boxers. So he's really done a lot of the studying and taught me the sweet science and how to box the way that I do, and to learn, the smart way to box and not to just go out there and brawl. He kind of taught me everything that is needed to become a very successful professional boxer. So if I didn't have him in my corner, then I'd probably be lost within the boxing business and just boxing in general. So camp went great. We were sparring about 3 times a week, and especially being here in Vegas, we got a lot of work building up and preparing for my fight. I was in the gym just about every day, either sparring, getting back working, and just putting in the work and conditioning and preparation needed for my fight.
And from day one, we started going to all the gyms, the top gym, top rank, knucklehead, pound for pound, DLX. When we found out she had a fight and we scheduled her fight, we turned it up. We were sparring everybody.
Sparring was great. I was sparring about 3 times a week for about 3 weeks during my camp, just getting all of the work that I could get in. And as for how the sparring went, by the time my fight came, I knew I was prepared. I'd seen everything that I needed to see and could see in the ring. I had many looks, many different sparring partners, and overall, I knew I was prepared.
Traveling over there, we actually, our flight flew out I think at 6 a.m. in the morning. I think we left our house about 3:30ish, so we could be to the airport within the 2-hour allotted time for check-in. Check-in went smooth. I did get stopped for my baggage to get checked because of the gauze and the tape, but after that, everything was smooth. It was a journey though. We had to fly into Houston. We flew out of Vegas, then we flew into Houston. Then after Houston, we flew into Guadalajara. And after flying into Guadalajara, Eddie Ochoa already had his driver and company meet us at the airport, which was a smooth transition. And we got in the van, we packed up the van, the luggage was up the top, and we had a 2-hour travel into Colima.
During that drive, we took a newly built toll road from Guadalajara to Colima in a van with another team that we traveled with, Team Ochoa, which we're very thankful for them because of the language barrier. They spoke Spanish. They knew to transfer their money from US dollars to pesos for the toll roads because they didn't take any other type of currency. And overall, the trip, it was relaxing. Everything mostly went well. And I'm just very thankful that we had people that have made that trip before to allow us to have everything run smoothly.
We got to our hotel, beautiful pools, beautiful restaurant, beautiful, it's called the Elite Gym connected to it. The venue for the fights was a half a block away. We actually walked to it several times. It was by private school. It was in a major recreation complex. So we were definitely in a good area of Colima.
So while we were at Colima, we stayed in a very nice hotel. The food was absolutely amazing. We ate breakfast there every morning, and it was also connected to a gym, which was like a 3-story gym that we trained in every night because we all had to cut weight, and the gym was heated. It was just very nice to train in. The hotel itself was right beside the venue we were fighting in, so that was very convenient.
I couldn't ask for anything better, to be honest. I don't even know if I could have planned it out myself.
The entire trip to Colima overall was just a great experience. I loved the city, I loved the people, especially I loved the food. We traveled down there with 5 boxers competing in this show.
We've been on events. This is our debut, so where we really got spoiled. Normally, most people that go pro will go out on their own, meaning it'll be just me, Jadalie, and probably one of my other team members, either my sons or my wife, depending on what their role is going to be. But we got spoiled. We got to go with Eddie Ochoa, Brady Ochoa, 2 other boxers, one from Eddie's gym and another guy from Top Rank, Al. We got to go as a team, and that was pretty amazing of itself, considering I think there was 14 bouts, but then 2 fell off. So then we met another guy from Seattle, Tay, who was also fighting, that we kind of gravitated to being part of our team. We had 5 fights out of 12 was coming out of our corner. But this was all business, and it wasn't a vacation. Even though the culture was nice, the people were definitely nice, the food was definitely great, the cost of everything was much cheaper for an experience. I got a big steak dinner for like $10, where it cost $30, $40, maybe $50 here in Vegas. So I ate pretty damn good. We all did, honestly. We ate pretty good and enjoyed the culture.
We ate at the same restaurant the whole 5 days that we were there. It was Las Brasas Steakhouse, if I remember correctly, and that was like some of the best food I've ever had. It was all fresh, from the steak, the chicken. They had this passion fruit juice, the maracuya. It was absolutely amazing. If there's one thing I would go back for, it'd definitely be that.
As soon as we get to the hotel, Jaime Rios, the promoter, we entered the hotel and he's sitting there waiting on us. Big smile, filming us as we're coming in, cheering us, great energy. Jaime is continuously working, continuously putting out promotions, exposures, continuously introducing me to everybody in the facility, the commissioners, the doctors, the refs, the judges. Just, man, you know, the crazy thing is I heard about him before I even got there. And there wasn't one bad thing that anyone could say about Jaime. Jaime is the best. And Rio promotion is where you need to get to. The quality of life seemed like the people are really kind of happy. It's a little impoverished area. Boxing is definitely Mexico's mecca. Everyone, if you're a boxer, everybody loves you. We were traveling throughout our hotel. We were going to the restaurant. There were several people in the pool. They seen us walking across the bridge, and they all started clapping for Jadalie and cheering her on, and that was so real of itself. It was just like, wow, okay. So the culture is definitely about the boxing, and I actually enjoyed that. The weight cut for Jadalie was another thing interesting of itself.
Going into this with the contracted weight being 103.6, we were a little bit concerned since I haven't been down to that weight in so long, but with my dad having used to have been a D1 wrestler, he said that he used to, not eat for an entire day and starve himself, which if that's what it came to and what I had to do then, that's what we would have done. Even though I had never done that before, but you know, the sacrifices that you make to be professional boxers. It's what you're willing to do.
This was uncharted territory. She has not ever been down this low for the last 4 or 5 years.
So I originally walk around at 110, 111. And so going into the trip, which we left about 5 days before weigh-in day, or 4 days before weigh-in day, I went into the trip weighing about 106 or 106 and a half. And 2 days before weigh-ins, I woke up already on weight, which I had to be at 47 kilos. So overall weight cut, it honestly wasn't very hard. The weight was coming off easy. Probably the hardest thing would be like the mental part of it, just when you're eating your meal and you're drinking your water, you just want to keep eating, you know, and drinking more because you're thirsty. But overall, it honestly wasn't that hard, and by the time weigh-ins came, I was like a pound or and a half maybe underweight, so it really wasn't bad weight cut.
Every night while we're there, we naturally all the boxers have to watch the weight, so we got to work out. So we would get in and we would go to the elite gym, it's called, and certain boxers do certain things. But as a team, we all ran together. We shadow boxed together. It was very heated up there, very nice, great temperature, big mirrors to shadow box in it. Man, you can't ask for anything more. Going into weigh-ins, you definitely weigh-ins started at 12 o'clock. Jadalie was definitely excited, and you can tell that when she walked in that this was what she wanted to do.
We headed to the venue, myself, our coaches, and all 4 other boxers that came with us from the States. So we headed to weigh-ins. When we got there, the first thing we did was we seen the commission, and I actually didn't have any identification on me, but they asked for some identification, but thankfully I had my driver's license, a picture of it on my phone. So we seen the commission. I think we signed the contract. We went to the doctor. They started weigh-ins. I was the second person to go at weigh-ins, my opponent and I. And I think I weighed in at 102.5, 102 and a half. So I was still a pound underneath of a little over a pound of what the contracted weight was. So that was good.
You could tell that Jadalie was definitely excited to be there, and that she was made for this moment. She weighed in. They had a nice little face off. You can see Jadalie when she stared down. You can tell Jadalie's seriousness. That it's not a game, and that when she looked at her opponent, she tried to see her soul. You can tell she owned the moment. So that was very good. Great moments, great energy.
When I first seen my opponent, I already knew that there was nothing that she could do to stop me. That all the hard work that I put in, all the training, all the sparring, all the runs, everything that I've done in my boxing career, from the amateurs, all the highs and all the lows, the wins and all the losses, had built up and led me to this moment of my pro debut. And I knew, I was confident that there was nothing she could do to me. What could she do? I've seen it all in the ring. I've been through all of the training and conditioning, that I was in the best shape that I could possibly be.
And we're all confident in what Jadalie does. What can they do?
We weighed in, did the face-off, took some pictures with the commissioners and the promoters standing between us holding the belt we were fighting for. And after that, we were hydrated. And overall weightings went very smooth, went very well.
Why is Mexico such a mecca for boxing? You know, they really don't have a big amateur background. Most of these people want to stay active and fight. If they stay active, they're really fighting for their family. They're very thankful because they're getting paid pretty well. They'll fight and they'll find a diamond, a Canelo, a Chavez. They'll fight and they find, hey, this guy's kicking butt around here. So then, you know, these guys will fight 20 or 30 fights in Mexico, and that's almost equivalent to 20 or 30 fights in America in the amateur level. So they fight, but these people all fighting for a better life. In Mexico, you're gonna fight all the time. When they say the mother, the brother, the sister, the aunt, the uncle, all fought, they literally mean that. I mean, and that's why Mexico loves their boxing. Understanding the culture over there was very welcoming, very well needed, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. I was around it. I was surrounded by it. You can feel the energy by it. You can see the people's energy. Even when the boxers aren't winning, they're still supporting. They're still fighting with the fighters. So you love that. You gotta love that for real. Most of the girls that are debuting, they are getting some older females. They're getting opponents with no wins. So I think we had a very, very big risk. Though we were confident, no matter what goes on, I still have in the back of my mind that, Jadalie, you have to perform. You have to perform. That's tremendous pressure of itself. Even though we've done this hundreds of thousands of times with sparring and all that, but now it's the real deal. Things can happen, but I think that through this development process with Jadalie and my family, that I've prepared them, be ready for any of these kinds of situations. I can minimize our mistakes and understand that there's going to be a lot on their side too. We're one up. It's going to benefit you. I thought it was going to be heavier, like thicker, but it was really going to benefit.
I didn't feel any bumps either, you?
No. Yeah, it's nice and tight.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very good. Muy bien.
Going into fight night, I was about 10 out of 12 fights on the card. And that was actually very different for me because in the amateurs, I was always the lower weights and a female, so I was always one of the first fights to go up. So being one of the last fights of the night, I had to wait all night for my fight to come and all of the build up. And honestly, I was like, dang, this is taking a while. I'm so ready to fight, and the energy and adrenaline was there, and I was just like ready to get in the ring and fight. She gets her hands wrapped by Coach Aaron, and he does a fantastic job, amazing job. If you ever get the opportunity to spend time with him and get your hands wrapped by him, please do so. If he's providing his services and he has time to. It's definitely a gain because he does a fantastic job in wrapping the hands. After I got my hands wrapped, I started stretching because for me, it's always important to stretch before any type of workout or any time before I get into the ring. So I stretched, and then I started my shadow boxing to warm up to get ready for my fight. Soon after that, I got the commission to check my wraps and check my gloves. I got my gloves on, got taped up, and really got everything prepared and got my warm-up jacket on, everything I needed in order to get in the ring. Going into my fight, I knew my fighter. She was ranked number 10 in Mexico. She was fighting in her home country, and she was just coming off of a win. So the game plan going into the fight was to just be smart, use a high boxing IQ, because that's the way I fight, and that's the way I was taught. And to just, with that, to stay at range. I knew she was gonna attack, especially because she wanted to show and prove herself in her hometown. So just to stay at range, catch her coming in, stay off at the angles, to keep her one-dimensional, and just to dominate the entire fight, especially fighting in her home country. I knew that I had to go out there and put on a dominating performance.
Most girls that are debuting aren't getting those opportunities.
One of the other guys that came with us, he came from Arizona and he went to Colima to fight. He used a Roy Jones song, Can't Be Touched, and they actually played that song for me, but you know, Roy Jones is just such a legend and the song was perfect for the moment.
Music came on. We had a couple of our team members walk us out, which was another good showcasing of our team. Jadalie walked out, she turned to the crowd, she waved to the crowd. They all accepted her, waved back to her, cheered her on. You gotta keep in mind, we're fighting a Mexican girl from that area, local area. They could have easily booed. They could have easily booed. They could have easily been non-supportive. So for them to welcome her and cheer her, that was just amazing of itself and a representation of their culture.
The crowd, they were very energetic. They were cheering, they were clapping, they were applauding. So I was walking to the ring, I was focused, I turned and waved to the crowd, and then I made my way into the ring.
You can tell that she was super excited to be on the stage. After Jadalie gets in the ring, she gets announced, I get out, and the bell goes off.
The game plan was start fast, showcase my speed, and just use a high IQ and box. Because I knew she was going to be fresh, she was going to come at me. So going out once the bell rang, I went out, I established myself in the middle of the ring. I started with one-dimensionally my opponent and just throwing speed out front, you know, putting feints in, getting her reactions. And after I got that in about like 10 to 15 seconds already, I already seen it all, everything I needed to see.
Make her find you with a jab, even though she can't find a jab, find the jab, boom, boom, boom. All right, you look great, right? Move it over to that way. You can just walk, let's go.
My job is to find out any habits that I recognize that her opponent has. And I think Jadalie and I both did that right off the start. Jadalie, the game plan was to box at range, study her habits, study her movements, use her bad habits against her, and know we always had that if we needed to go back to that.
Going out to round two, basically the same game plan, just go out there, outbox her. I figured after round one, she was gonna try and come harder because she's in her hometown and she knew that she lost the first round. So I was expecting that, but it really didn't change the game plan because all I had to do was hook, turn, stay in my range, stay in front of her front hand, and just control the boxing side of it.
Her speed is nowhere close. The thing that, like I said, her opponent could do was try to pressure Jadalie. Jadalie decided, nah, fuck that. I'm going to catch this young lady and let her know that I can do it from anywhere in this ring.
This was the turning point of the fight. I started pressuring her, hard steps, catching her clean, got her on the back of the ropes, and was just attacking until the end of the bell. This is my ring.
Shots coming, but she can't react fast enough. It was non-stop from there. Jadalie backed against the rope and started just beating on her, landing the hard shots, landing the two almost anytime she wanted to, being the bigger physical boxer, closing the show.
It wasn't as clean as I wanted to be. It showed dominance, it showed ring generalship, and it showed that I wanted to win this fight and that this was my fight. And that's exactly what I went out and did.
When the fight was done, Jadalie comes back and there was nothing in question about who won the fight. After Jadalie gets announced the winner and they give her the belt, the Mexican audience was very receptive, very cheerful. They welcomed the champ. Everybody in there was wanting to take pictures with Jadalie. The doctor, the referee, the judges, the promoters, the fans.
There were locals from Colima coming down from the stands to take pictures with me, which was really a great feeling, just knowing that, you know, the people of Mexico appreciated my boxing and loved my performance and wanted to get a picture with me. So looking back on my performance, it wasn't perfect. There were some things that I have to work on, like there were a couple times I overshot my punches. When I was inside, I knew that I was smothering myself sometimes. I even got head-butted a little bit, actually a couple times while I was inside. There were a couple times where I went straight backwards instead of circling around the ring. And so even though, you know, you learn with every fight, and even though I made those mistakes, I'm learning from those mistakes, and it'll allow me to get better each and every fight. And accepting that I made those mistakes and using that in practice to build on that and learn from that is really what I take away from this fight. But overall, I'm proud of my performance, and I went out there, I dominated, and I got the win.
She has a great smile. She's very articulate. She has a great boxing style based off the sweet science and the fundamentals. We're only going to get better as we continue to learn.
1-0.
We did it. There's a lot of firsts. First pro debut fight. We had the right people around us. We prepared for this moment.
Overall, the trip, it was a great experience, great learning experience. I went out there, accomplished what I needed to accomplish, and overall, it was just a win in the books. If I wanted to go back to Mexico and Colima again, I would. Just because it was that great of a culture, the food was great, the experience was great.
Our weight class, we're looking for you. I'm gonna be honest. There ain't many in America in these weight classes. So we're definitely coming for all of them. I mean, it's the nature of it. If you don't think you're not on our radar and you're doing it in America, you are. You are. Likewise, we should be on yours. We want to build the biggest fights. We want to build up female boxing.
Also, shout out to Madison and Sarah and the entire Venom staff and Venom team. They treated myself and my team like royalty. They've been with me since day one of my professional boxing career, and they've helped me with everything and taken care of me with everything I need, and they are the best. Also, use my Venom code Jadalie10 for 10% off of your Venom order.
Definitely want to give thanks to our number one sponsor, Venom. Absolutely, Venom, Sarah, Venom's women, Madison. Dude, I can't even say enough, man. This is amazing, for real. Yeah, to be a global brand, to be able to share in the moments. We are happy to represent them to the fullest. We love the brand. We love everything they do. We love their people. Currently working with Team Combat League.
Welcome to the Season 3 Las Vegas Hustle Tryouts. I see a lot of familiar faces. Let's get the show on the road.
It's the Rampage Jackson versus Rashad Evans in Albuquerque, New Mexico, April 12th. It will be, man, it's going to be under my guys' lights out promotion under the pay-per-view part.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for all access content for Team Medeiros, and be sure to hit that bell to get notifications for all upcoming videos.